Hello and welcome to another video from me, Duncan M3BIK, and this video is something a little bit different. I thought I would try and track Air Force One with Donald Trump on it as it was coming over the ocean and over Ireland and into the UK and landing eventually at London Stansted airport. So I watched the plane as it was coming over the ocean, I watched it as coming over Ireland, and then I started jumping on various frequencies that I knew air traffic control managed certain areas in the sky. So as we're looking at this map, this is sped up, so apologies if you're trying to look at it and think things look like they're moving a little bit quicker. I have sped this up to match my audio during this video, so it does run a lot slower normally. So we can see Donald Trump's Air Force One plane, which I'm currently tracking. Now the UK airspace is split into different zones, and those different zones manage different areas of air traffic control. So if you go between two different zones, you get passed to a different air traffic control, which is on a different frequency. So that's the way it works. Now, aeroplanes in the sky, the pilots don't just drive randomly. Like if you wanted to go from A to B, you've got to drive on a road. You can't just drive through a field. So it's a bit similar in the sky. So the sky is like roads. There's flight paths, routes in the sky that aircraft have to follow. So they have to follow these certain routes, and they have to follow them at a certain flight level. And if they want to change flight level for whatever reason, bad weather or something like that, they have to ask air traffic control if they can do that, because air traffic control can say yes or no depending on what aircraft are around them. Air Force One is not exempt from using air traffic control, as we're about to find out on this video, because it contains some audio of Air Force One. So Air Force One is not exempt. It has to follow the same procedures as any other aircraft, and it has to talk to air traffic control. It has to say if it wants to go, higher or lower, or if it wants to deviate slightly off its route because of bad weather or whatever. It still has to go via air traffic control. So starting off, just roughly as we're coming just down from Birmingham area, Air Force One starts coming over. Now I'm in the centre of the UK, so I'm currently listening on London Control Lakes, which is on 132.858, and I hear air traffic control talking back to Air Force One. So here's the first clip.
Air Force One, contact London 121.030. 121.030, Air Force One.
So there we go. That's the first clip I've got. Now, basically what happens now is they're coming, Air Force One is leaving one zone, if you want to call it that, and coming into another zone. So it's still heading to London. So it's passed it over now to London Control Daventry. So I've switched frequency now because air traffic control has told Air Force One to switch to 121.030. So this is the way it works on any aircraft that you happen to be tracking. As it moves between the zones, air traffic control tells them which frequency to go to. So air traffic control has now sent them to 121.030, which is London Control Daventry. And here's the second clip of audio from Air Force One. And a couple of moments later, we are now going to get the third clip of audio from Air Force One as well.
119.780, Air Force One.
So that is the three bits of audio that I managed to capture. It might not seem much, but I'm really pleased with that achievement, because I've never had any luck in the past tracking Air Force One or any other sort of high rated plane. Probably Air Force One is the most highest, of the rated of the planes that you can get, really, because it's extremely difficult to track its movements and things like that. It doesn't use normal tracking of how planes normally get tracked in the sky. So we're kind of using a different system on another website here to track it. But yeah, that's how it's appeared, and it comes in to land at London Stansted Airport. So any questions on this video, please ask in the comments below. I'm not an expert on aviation, as you can probably tell from this video. I do a little bit of listening to airbands, so I'm familiar with how the planes get passed between the different air traffic controls. So that's how I was able to track Air Force One as it came over the UK, over Ireland into the UK, and landing at Stansted using all my own equipment. I can say on this, I used my own SDR, my own disco aerial, which is quite high up on the roof, so I do get good coverage across the UK, particularly with things like the airband, because they're transmitting on AM. The aircraft transmit on AM, they're not on FM, they transmit on the AM. So yeah, that's how I was able to track Donald Trump and Air Force One as they come into the UK and eventually land at London Stansted. Thanks for watching this video, everybody.